In the mid-1960s, professional American football was marked by fierce competition between two distinct leagues: the traditional National Football League, NFL, with decades of history and well-established teams, and the emerging American Football League, AFL, which focused on new markets and innovations to attract fans. It was a period defined by contractual disputes, behind-the-scenes battles, and growing stadium rivalries. However, this relentless competition could not last forever, and in 1970, one of the most pivotal moments in sports history occurred: the merger between the AFL and NFL, creating the foundation of the modern NFL we know today. The NFL, founded in 1920, was the dominant league, home to historic franchises like the Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and New York Giants. Meanwhile, the AFL, established in 1959 and beginning play in 1960, introduced teams such as the Boston Patriots, Buffalo Bills, and Kansas City Chiefs, originally the Dallas Texans. The AFL's owners, led by Lamar Hunt, sought to break the NFL's monopoly by offering a more offensive style of play and introducing franchises in cities the NFL had overlooked. The unexpected success of the new league, fueled by national television broadcasts and thrilling games, triggered a war for college players, driving up salaries and costs for both leagues. At the peak of this confrontation, the NFL realized that coexistence would come at a steep cost. It was becoming increasingly difficult to compete for talent while maintaining financial stability. In 1966, both sides began negotiating an agreement to unify professional football. These discussions resulted in the merger agreement, which also established a world championship game between the two leagues at the end of each season, the precursor to what would become the Super Bowl. While the merger wasn't yet finalized, the champions of the AFL and NFL faced off in what was initially called the AFL-NFL World Championship game. The first such game, though not officially titled the Super Bowl yet, took place in January 1967, pitting the Green Bay Packers against the Kansas City Chiefs. The increasing success of these matchups, especially after the New York Jets, representing the AFL, defeated the heavily favored Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III in 1969, highlighted the strength and legitimacy of the younger league. In 1970, the merger became a reality. The remaining AFL franchises formed the American Football Conference, AFC, while most of the former NFL teams formed the National Football Conference, NFC. To balance the number of franchises in each conference, some internal relocations occurred. For example, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns moved to the AFC. This created a unified NFL with 26 teams, divided into two conferences of 13 teams each. The impact was immediate. The 1970 season was the first in which all teams played under the same umbrella, adhering to unified rules and schedules. It was a massive victory for the league, team owners, and especially the fans, who could finally see all teams competing in an organized manner. The Super Bowl quickly grew in prestige, becoming the most watched sporting event in the United States. From that point on, the NFL solidified itself as the dominant sports powerhouse in the country, accelerating its journey toward global popularity. The AFL-NFL union also blended two distinct cultures and styles of play. The AFL was known for its high-octane offenses, spectacular passing plays, and TV-friendly excitement. The NFL, more conservative by nature, now had to adapt to, and in many ways, compete with, this fresh approach to the sport. The result was a renewed brand of football. Teams began incorporating more dynamic offensive strategies, and the on-field and off-field show evolved into a nationwide spectacle. Economically, the merger brought greater financial stability and growth potential. With a unified championship, the sale of television broadcast rights and corporate sponsorships expanded, generating revenues that fueled the modernization of stadiums and improved conditions for players and fans alike. The legacy of the 1970 merger is still felt today. The NFL continues to adapt over the years, expanding to 32 teams, changing rules to enhance player safety, and promoting the sport on a global scale. Yet, the core structure, two unified conferences, a common schedule, playoffs, and the Super Bowl as the season's apex, remains largely unchanged since that transformative era. The rivalries and successes born from the merger helped create legendary teams and eras. The 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty, Don Shula's Miami Dolphins, John Madden's Oakland Raiders, and many more dynasties to follow. This balance between traditional franchises and newly integrated teams is one of the reasons why the NFL became a cultural phenomenon in the United States and an entertainment product consumed worldwide. In the end, one league, two worlds. The AFL-NFL merger, 1970, represents the moment when professional football ended an era of division and took a leap in quality and appeal. On one hand, the old guard of the NFL made space for modern ideas. On the other, AFL franchises gained recognition and equality. The process was not simple, involving financial agreements, political negotiation, and resistance from purists. But the final result was undeniably positive: a robust, dynamic competition open to innovation. Thus, the year 1970 became immortalized in sports history as the moment when two rival leagues united forces and paved the way for the contemporary NFL. A merger that benefited not just owners and players, but also millions of fans who now had, truly, the best of both worlds, brought together under the same banner, on the same field, and in the same grand spectacle that would grow into one of the biggest sporting events on the planet.